Keep this hand. It's kind of nice if we can just draw a black fetch and go Thoughtseize, Decay, Liliana. We're on the draw. I think we keep. I know we have this in our hand, but we can just discard it to Liliana maybe. Yeah, I've been really liking this deck a lot. I actually just genuinely think this deck is good. I've made a couple changes that I like. Also, I ended up cutting the Gristlebrand from the deck. Just like the Gristlebrand never felt bad to me, but it usually like it's like you either want to didn't draw a fetch land that could get a swamp, like a basic swamp. I think I'm getting Watery Grave. Could get Overgrown Tomb. So like, it's like when you wanted to Gifts for a Goryo's target, it felt like I always wanted to Gifts for, oh, my opponent does not have a second land. And this Thing in the Ice is also like really bad against us right now, so I think I'm just taking a Thought Scour. They did put a card on top, which is a second land, of course. It's just like when I wanted to Gifts for a Goryo's Vengeance target, it was like always Bruna, or almost always Bruna. And when I wanted to Gifts for like value, like I was more so going for like Uro Field of the Dead Loam than I was going for Gristlebrand. So I had to cut it, playing a second Inquisition, which is something I really wanted to find room for. Not playing some Jeskai today, Razak. Probably sometime this week though. Happy New Year, Mr. Shumei. Neeble, good morning. Aspiring Neeble. Yeah, I've played some 4-color control. I'm not super high on the deck. I kind of think that Sultai control is better, Sultai or Temur. I feel like I always stumble with 4-color, and there's a lot of Blood Moons right now. Opponent discards the second Thought Scour and Gut Shot, so they have kept Lightning Bolt and they have a mystery card. We're just playing against Blue-Red Phoenix, which is kind of cool. Oh, it's a good draw as well. I guess Basic Swamp will not let us escape Uro. So I'll just discard the Colossification, but I'm not gonna escape away the Colossification. Bruna can get it back from the yard, but I'm not gonna escape it away. But unless we draw Sunken Ruins, there was no chance we could escape Uro if we were to discard Uro this turn. And I actually think that we'd still be like a card in the graveyard short. You love my YouTube content? Yeah, thanks, dude. It's been going pretty well. Really, really happy with the YouTube right now. Good morning, Johnny. You are first again today. Very, very good. They kept Lightning Bolt over Thing in the Ice. See if they bolt Liliana here, or if they just like hold it for a second. All of the deck is your ideas. This deck, yeah. For the most part on this channel, everything I play are brews of mine, with a few exceptions. But the main thing I try to do on my channel is, brew and have new ideas and try to innovate a bit. But they're like, I play dono decks on Thursdays, and there are definitely times I take inspiration from people, and occasionally I'll play somebody else's deck, but it's not very common at all. Can we be best friends? I already have a best friend, but we can be streamer and viewer friends. We can have a parasocial relationship. Don't really want to discard any of these, honestly. Let's see. So let's discard Overgrown Tomb, and the next turn we can discard what we draw, or discard Field of the Dead, and escape Uro. Can you greet me? Yes, of course I can greet Bruna on a day we're playing Bruna. Very cool. They discard a Lightning Bolt instead of casting it, so I'm not entirely sure what that means their other card is. Let's play Field. I'm gonna get Triome, and then we can escape Uro. I did have a very good relaxing weekend, Austin. Thanks for checking in. Actually, like it was the first weekend Esther's had off of work in like, finale. It's the first weekend Esther's had off of work in like 2 months because of like working retail and it being Christmas season. So it was nice to just get to hang out. We watched like a bunch of movies, went shopping, had some nice dinners. Good afternoon, Emma. Oh no, I've spilled some coffee. Get a paper towel. This is like the 10th time I spill some of my coffee at like the very beginning of the stream. Just happens all the time. My hands have always been like pretty shaky. I think we escape Uro before we... Yeah, this lets us get a feel of the dead token, and like theoretically we could draw a discard spell. I definitely want to leave the Colossification in the graveyard, and I suppose I'll just leave like a Misty Rainforest for Loam. Well, awesome, Imba. Yeah, this is around the time I usually start the stream. Guess we'd rather have a 4 loyalty Liliana than a 3 loyalty Liliana. Glad to have you here this early. Alright. I've been really liking this deck. I think it's a good deck. And it's, you know, also a pretty sweet brew. I imagine my opponent is going to have surgical extractions, which are admittedly pretty taxed, because they have to target Uro and also Bruna. But Gargaroth seems good if we can, as long as we can kill Thing in the Ice, and if we play pushes and decays, I think we can pretty easily kill Thing in the Ice. Probably won't have too many counter spells for Veil. I'm playing Boseiju. I feel like Boseiju's got a lot of good gifts piles. We can get like Boseiju plus Loam, plus like Gifts Ungiven, plus like a fetch land for Mystic Sanctuary, and like the really slow matchups. And this card is one I'm really interested to try out today. And the fact that we can tutor it up and get it back with Loam makes me really excited for it. I probably want to trim on Liliana, maybe play 2, maybe end up playing 1. I could see cutting the 4th Uro if my opponent's going to be surgicaling them pretty aggressively. I kind of want to only have like 3 in my deck. Thoughtseize also seems kind of medium, but maybe we still play a total of 4 discard spells to be able to fight their surgical extractions, which seems like their most important card in the matchup. I could also see cutting the 4th Goryo's Vengeance. I don't think I want Aether Gust. I still don't think I want Veil. I think I'm just going to submit this. I'm sure you've asked this before, but why is Bruna plus Classification the win con, not Emrakul or Gristlebrand? Okay, so Bruna plus Classification kills your opponent, and it kills them most of the time. While Gristlebrand, especially in like a mid-range deck like this, it's going to draw 7 cards, but it's not going to win the game. And then Gristlebrand gets exiled. And Emrakul, in order to work with Gifts Ungiven, you have to do it all in one turn, which is incredibly taxing on your mana. You have to... It's super taxing on your mana to try to, Gifts for Emrakul, and then Goryo's Vengeance, and then Gifts is just a 4 mana Entomb if it's for Emrakul, which is not very good. But it's nice that you can just put Bruna and Colossification in your graveyard, and then untapping Goryo's, or get Radical Idea, Colossification, Goryo's Bruna, then Mystic Sanctuary back your Goryo's, and discard Bruna to Radical Idea. And I even had a Gristlebrand in this deck last week, and I ended up cutting it because when I wanted to go for Goryo's, I was always going for Bruna, with like I think 1 exception. And then when I wanted to go for value, I was going for Uro Field of the Dead piles. Have I 5-0'd with this deck? Yes, I have. We 5-0'd on Friday, the last stream. Yeah, Bruna plus Eldrazi Conscription is very lore friendly, but just not 20 damage, sadly. You also don't get the Annihilator trigger immediately. And I guess you never get it because Goryo's Vengeance also sacrifices Bruna. How do I feel about a Charter Course? I think that Radical Idea is better than Charter Course because it works a bit better with Gifts Ungiven, but I understand what you're getting at least. How about, I like the Bruna plan, but... Thanks, Vizier. Yeah, I definitely have considered, the ins, the outs, the what have yous, the different angles you could take with this deck. And I did think that the first Gristlebrand was going to be where you want it to be, but I have changed my mind on that. Yeah, opponent is on Phoenix. I don't know if they know about the combo. We didn't show it to them game 1. We just looked like a Sultai mid-range deck. But they still bring in any graveyard hate that they have, of course. We do have, so when you have Gifts plus Vengeance, it really does feel like Splinter Twin, where you end of turn just put Bruna, Colossification in your graveyard, and then you can untap and Vengeance your Bruna and win the game. And I tried to build some like straight discard 2 Phoenixes. Do they have like surgical or okay, they have a spell. It's pretty good. Wow. But they may just die. We don't have Revolt on Fatal Push up, sadly. We need to draw an untapped land. Might just die first, even if we do. Kind of worried about getting Blood Moon too. What did I replace Gristlebrand with? The second Inquisition of Kozilek, which is something I really wanted to find room for. I thought about playing the 4th Liliana, but I feel like 8 3-drops is kind of a lot, even though Liliana does play well with Uro, but maybe Liliana is not that good. Yeah, to get mooned. Game 3, so against Blood Moon, I think I probably want some amount of Aether Gust. You can play like 3 Fatal Push. No Thoughtseize. 3 Gust. It is nice that we haven't shown them Bruna yet, but they may know what's up. You could also play Lyra to pump. Seems pretty good. You could also play Collective Blessing to pump a bit. Let's keep this. I like that we can play Jace on turn 2 without having to fear our opponent untapping and blood mooning us. And if we can find a fetch land for a basic island, we can gust the Blood Moon and also tap out for Liliana. But it did keep 7. I have felt like Phoenix is playable in Modern for a long time. I 5-0'd a few times with Phoenix since the Faithless Looting ban. But I haven't felt like Phoenix has been good for a long time. I haven't really felt like... despite the fact that you can play this deck and it's not bad. I haven't felt like the deck is actually somewhere that you want to be for a long time. And I don't know that anything's changed for my opinion on that to have changed. Alright, hopefully my opponent just plays Thing in the Ice. Nope. Although, it is nice that when you have Jace in the graveyard, you can Goryo's Vengeance Jace, and then flip Jace, and maybe flashback Goryo's Vengeance after, discarding Bruna to Jace. So, like, you're not that upset usually when
What's
Jace
up?
just
It's
dies.
me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
I think that we are supposed to play Liliana here. My opponent doesn't have any basic islands in play anyways. But we could just get Blood Moon and lose. Thanks of the Cross. Yeah, I really, really like this deck. This deck has been, I just love when a brew comes together. It's my favorite thing in Magic to have a successful brew. Yeah, I think Careful Study would be too good for Modern. But I think that you could print something in between. I kind of think that 1 mana, draw a card, discard a card that flashes back for 2 would be about appropriate power level. And it's possible you could split it up over blue and red, or just have it be blue, or just have it be red. Like blue on the front half, red on the flashback, or vice versa. Awesome. Love to see a Thing in the Ice. Like maybe their worst card in the matchup, but we still have to keep a lot of cards in to respect it. I could see actually them do I actually just Edict here? I think I'm just gonna Edict. I don't really want to discard any of my cards, and just a good 2-for-1. I don't understand the Bruna classification thing. The creature gets tapped when yeah, it does, but when Bruna gets tapped, she's already attacking because the classification goes on when she attacks. So even though she's tapped, she's still attacking and still gets to deal 25. They did mill over a Phoenix. And they still have 5 cards in their hand. It's not a small number at all. Scalding Tarn and passing. Yeah, the fact that they couldn't bring back their Phoenix there is really bad for them. I think I'm just discarding my Fatal Push. Do like to draw Polluted Delta here. In fact, I think we should be able to combo next turn via Mystic Sanctuary, because we have a discard outlet in play. They discard another Phoenix, fair enough. But even if they spend their turn just getting their Phoenixes back, we can Gifts for Bruna, Colossification, Goryo's Vengeance. Although I guess they can maybe... Yeah, if they kill our Liliana and then we don't draw a land off of the Radical idea, then we lose. Do we think our opponent has a counterspell here? I don't think we're supposed to play around a counterspell because we can just Mystic Sanctuary back the Gifts and replay it. But surely they have one if they're gonna be pausing here, or if it's remand, we just replay it. But like holding cards to play around counterspells, I don't think is usually wise when your opponent when you have a Liliana in play. Could this deck work without Uro? I've thought about playing a just straight blue-white variant. Sorry, blue-black variant. That kind of plays like more like a twin deck where you just end of turn, Gifts Ungiven, and kind of combo off, you know. Okay, Surgical are Gifts. This is fine. Where you end of turn Gifts Ungiven and untapping Goryo's Vengeance with some counters magic up maybe. Or you can still value Gifts when you can't combo off, and then you still at least have Jace to get back with Vengeance. And yeah, I think you have to play Jace in these decks. The more I'm thinking about it, but I think that this is the best version. If it's straight blue black, you can go Narset and Echo of Aeons. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I mean, Echo is just so bad to draw naturally, but you know, so is Colossification. I think we're supposed to get our opponent to 0 cards here. At least try to. I bet this has a target. If my opponent, like... If this gets my opponent down to 0 cards, because my opponent would, like, maybe Surgical, then I would, probably not plus Liliana, and hold my Gust, but... Oh, my opponent didn't... Oh, that was... Sorry, this was Lightning Axe. I thought this was, Lightning Bolt. My bad. They're probably supposed to hold this Islet. Yeah, I think I would have held the Islet a turn. And try to, like, you know, be able to chain enough cards together.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
Gully Seagull, thank you for your Twitch Prime. Hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate that. You know, it is not that hard for them to just chain 3 cantrips together. They have 2 Phoenixes in the yard. I also may have held that Bolt, but again, doesn't really matter. You know, with our Gifts Ungiven Surgical, it is going to be harder for us to combo. I'm hoping to find an Uro. There's 1 cantrip. Is this a second? That's a second. So if they hit us instant or sorcery off this Manamorphose, they get back 2 Phoenixes. And we're in really bad shape. Hopefully they just hit a land. They did. And we get to play Jace, which is really good on this board, I think. It was a Spell Pierce. They draw another cantrip. Also, Finale of Devastation also gets back their Phoenixes. As soon as we draw an Uro, I think the game ends, though. Hell yeah, Gully. Glad that you're liking the YouTube. Do I think that this deck is better than the blue-red control, the blue-red Kiki through the breach? And maybe. It's kind of a bit early to tell, I think. I really like Through the Breach at the moment. I think Through the Breach is better than Kiki right now. I'll say that. Right, 1 spell. They mill over Lightning Bolt, Thought Scour. Do they hit a 3rd spell? I feel like they've gotten pretty unlucky to not chain 3 cantrips together, but they would have if they had sacked their Islet end of turn, I think. Maybe. No, they just drew a land off of it. Why is Breach better than Kiki? Less vulnerable to removal, which is a big part of the metagame at the moment. Oh no. Less vulnerable to removal.
What's up? It's me, your
The
friend
Emrakul
Aspiring
plan,
Spike.
I think, is specifically good against the... You know, it's only 5 mana as opposed to 8 over the course of 2 turns, which is relevant in my opinion. Unexistent, and you get to play just a better control plan, I think, as the Breach deck. Unexistent, 3 months in a row. Good morning, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate you. Man, we have not drawn very well, but, you know, that's part of surgical extraction, I guess. Well, they surgical got... I guess, yeah, they should have surgical Bruna. 3rd Phoenix, wow. Well, if we draw Uro this turn, we should win, but I think we're dead. Alright, sure, we probably don't win if we draw the Uro. We just have it outs to win, but did not draw very well once we stabilized. Any prediction for the rest of the league? I predict that I will not do a prediction every single time. Prismatic Vista, real awkward. I think I am going to keep, though, just play Sanctuary tapped on turn 1. Yeah, it's Mystic Faithless Looting. Yeah, something like that. Like, I mean, Looting would make the deck immediately one of the best decks in the format again. But I think that you could probably print a similar effect that's a little more balanced. Would I ever want Kolga
Welcome,
to use
Spike
Goryo's
Wings,
as a
to the
removal
Shark
spell?
Typhoon.
Is that the Scarecrow? Pseudo Voodoo, thank you for your Twitch Prime. Hope you're having a good day today. If that is the Scarecrow, I have been thinking about Goblin Engineer plus like Shrome or the Scarecrow, plus Goryo's Vengeance, but I don't think it's right for this deck. Kind of awkward to run this Jace out against a swamp, but we can Vengeance back the Jace, so I don't think I mind so much. Like, I don't really want to Thoughtseize a Fatal Push if I can't help it. This red-black deck has been super popular, and I have found it to be a pretty good matchup. Right, that was their draw. Wait, why did they... Oh, yeah, why didn't they play Blackleaf Cliffs? They have 2 Blackleaf Cliffs in their hand. Why did they play Bloodstained Mire? That was just a mistake, I guess. If I discard this forest, I can't get a forest. I think I want to get Sunken Hollow and just keep the forest in my hand. Interesting. So let's discard that Chandra.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
Yeah, I want to keep this. I guess I'm discarding either one to Liliana and holding the Decay. So we're losing both of our lands here, I guess. Their hand is going to be just a Cliffs, so hopefully they don't draw a spell. Regular size Jesse, 4 months in a row. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good day today. They may want to Moon next turn. I mean, if they want to Moon next turn, they can still crack Bloodstained Mire. Like, they still have the Bloodstained Mire in their hand. And then that means, like, the Moon was the only new card drawn. So I don't think the logic tracks. It was just a mistake to play the way they did. Alright, top decking and the discard mirror both have 4 lands. Although we have Uro in our deck. We also have Bruna in our deck. Awesome. And this is one thing I like about the deck is that you only play 1 Bruna, 1 Colossification. So it's not like in games like this, you have a... I can't believe it. Oh, we drew the combo. It's awesome. Okay, well, if they cast a Liliana, they die. Or if they, you know, if they Croxa, they die. It's awesome. They hit a Blood Moon, though. We have a Swamp. They hit Blood Moon Chandra? They decide to Moon. We still have the Swamp. We can also draw Thoughtseize and Thoughtseize our own Bruna, maybe. course, I just used my powers to speak into existence. All right, right on time, Uro. Right on time. They hit Fatal Push and Magmatic Channeler. Why can't they hit Kroxa? Maybe we'll discard the hand size. Okay, now we should have Goryo's Vengeance back Jace. That was a huge we had the kill. Oof, damn it. We still have the kill. We still have the kill, but my opponent gets like a lot of looks. Although I'm not sure exactly what they can draw. Yeah, my mistake. Oh, they actually can't Channeler again because they don't have a card in their hand. So they're dead. Although they could have been dead last turn. That was a mistake. I'm sure someone on YouTube has already typed it out and then is now realizing, Spike realized I can delete my comment. Alright, no reason to tap the Jace yet. Just drew the combo naturally. It's always so funny when that happens. And we get to, get our first Bruna kill of the day. Bruna kill count 1. I had somebody tag me on Twitter and ask me or tell me that I made a misplay on a VOD and a timestamp, but they were wrong. I was dead on board. They're like, "Why did you concede? You could have killed them." But don't do that. Let old mistakes die. And if you are gonna do it, at least be right. At least be right. Yeah. Why don't kill? It was actually why don't kill Doom. I misread the comment at first. Do I come up with YouTube? Yeah. I do nothing on the YouTube, honestly. My editor makes the titles, the thumbnails, and uploads the videos. So he doesn't okay it. I don't okay it or anything. The titles aren't super my style, honestly, but he's doing a good job with the whole process, so I don't really mind. I have been cutting the combo in this matchup. I think I am going to. Oh, but hold on. But let me first update the kill count. Just they end up bringing in a lot of graveyard hate, and then if you cut your combo, you just have a good Sultai mid-range deck with a bunch of Gargaroths that they have a hard time answering. Cutting Veil of Summer, I was playing 2 Veil of Summer last time. Now I'm playing 1 Boseiju, 1 Veil. That could make this matchup a bit tougher. Maybe I'm supposed to cut the Guy's Blessing for a second Veil. Might do that going forward. The Blessing was not that good before. Probably still not that good. Probably want to trim the 4th Gifts against the Graveyard Hate. Maybe the 3rd Liliana. No, I can keep it in. Guess we can cut the Radical Idea. Or maybe I want to be keeping in... Maybe I want to be cutting discard spells, actually. Maybe I'll play Bloodchief's Thirst over the 4th push, because this can kill Chandra, Liliana. I do have a moment for deck tech knob, yep. I took the Blue-Red Devilist, though, with Thunderous Wrath, dropped Wrath, and had a few Cryptics and a 4th Forest, went 4-1. Awesome. Yeah, I feel like that deck has some potential. Gonna keep this. Sounds kind of exactly what you want to see, these sideboard games where you just have your opponent's gonna bring in a lot of hate for your combo, in theory at least, and then you just have the Sultai mid-range deck with a lot of answers to Blood Moon. Hold on, 1 second. Do you like drawing the basic swamp? So I haven't been finding room for Growth Spiral in most of my Uro variants, or sorry, my Urza variants. I have kind of found that card hard to find room for. It's when you have to have all these artifact synergies, also finding room for Spiral's been a bit tough. So I would probably play Gilded Goose in that spot. Gilded Goose also lets you go turn 3 tracker plus fetch land, which is kind of nice. Although it does, you're already vulnerable to removal spells. I'd also might play the 4th Urza. Do I want to get a second forest for Gargaroth? Maybe I was supposed to get an island here. I want to get islands. That way you can draw Gust and get rid of the moon. Interesting. We also can cast Gifts, of course, by getting the island, which is good in theory. I also kind of think that you don't necessarily need to play the Thopter Sword combo. I kind of think that what you could do instead is just main deck. Some people have been playing just main deck Liquid Metal Coatings and also playing Thieving Skydiver to like steal your opponent's lands. You go turn 2 Coating, turn 3 Skydiver, steal your opponent's land is pretty good. You could try to look into that, although I think you'd have to playtest first. You might also... I will say that I agree that playing Tracker plus Urza is the best way to get to like Urza with Cryptic Command or Archmage's Charm up. But I think you probably either want to be in on that and not play Karns, or in on Karns, like play like Karn plus Skydiver and play like a pretty slow or just like a sorcery speed tap out deck with artifact synergies, and instead of having trackers and counterspells and Karns and spirals, I think you need to pick a direction. And so the direction is either Karn plus Coating plus Skydiver, or like Tracker plus Goose plus Emery plus counterspells. Just like 1-drops in Urza and counterspells. I'm getting kind of rambly. Alright, so I think we get Forest, Island, Swamp, Loam. And then we can cast all of our spells. These kind of decks usually look super strong on paper, but fall into the Sultai control of olds where you could control opponent over and over, could never kill your opponent. Well, that's why the Bruna plan is real good, I think, right? You actually can kill your opponent. We're actually playing a Skydiver Coating deck on Thursday for Dono Deck Thursday, if that does sound like something that interests anybody. I'm going to leave 2 fetches in the yard for Uro. We can escape Uro next turn. Although this Chandras are going to be a problem unless we can find a Gust. Though maybe we would play Gargaroth instead of Uro. Mono Blue Tron with it. That's interesting. Mono Blue Tron continues to be an enigma. They don't have a second swamp currently for their Kroxa or enough cards to escape with. Kind of strange that they wouldn't plus Chandra before Channelering, but I guess they want to discard Kroxa no matter what. We do have... Oh, you're right. We don't have blue, blue, green, green. Sorry. So I guess we just have to Gargaroth. Thought I did. Yeah, I forgot that I had to play Swamp for Liliana. Not going to dredge the Loam. We do get to make them discard their last card. Dreadbore. Oh wait, they have no black mana. I don't know why I thought they had 1 Swamp. That's what I get for taking a weekend off of Magic. It is going to be... We discarded their Dreadbore. I knew we don't have Veil of Summer up. They hit Liliana, but they don't have black mana. Yeah, there's no way they can kill Gargaroth, right? Because they need to both find black mana and like another Dreadbore. Yeah, forever ago that Bob, Colonnade... I actually don't feel like Bitter Blossom was ever a modern staple. I remember it like coming off the ban list and just immediately people were like, oh, this isn't that good. But maybe I'm misremembering. They discarded Spellbomb, and they hit Seasoned Pyromancer, which is the only card that would allow them to hit Black Source plus like second Dreadbore, which is pretty absurd if they do manage to hit exactly like those 2 cards. And they did find a Spellbomb, so they get to exile my Uro. Although they need to crack it now, then they're not, because they know I have this island, so they're just making a mistake. Like they don't have black mana to get value off the spell bomb. I guess I'm gonna cash in this for an Edict and play a second Liliana, and then Edict again. Ellipses, 9 months in a row. Sub baby born, welcome back to you. Thank you for that.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
And then I kind of just want to make a 3/3 here. I feel like a 3/3 is better than the average card on this board. Dark Confidant is probably closer to playable than Tarmo. I would disagree with that. I'd say they're like about the same level. You know, like Channeler honestly seems better than Bob in this deck. Awesome. Tutor for the sorry. Yeah, Sculpting Steel. It's a 3-mana artifact that says it can enter the battlefield as a copy of any artifact on the battlefield. Which just does feel interesting to me. Opponent revealed Yorion. Maybe we'll get a reprint in Horizons 2. Probably not. A Titan Yorion deck is interesting. I kind of just want to take their Valakut Awakening. They're kind of light on lands in this hand. What's the fastest turn this deck can combo? Theoretically turn 2 if you Thoughtseize your own Bruna and have Colossification in your hand. Turn 3 if you discard with Jace, but it's usually turn 5. And Grazer is this deck's worst enemy because it blocks Bruna. Do not attack with Grazer to send a message against my deck. Would Phyrexia Metamorph be better? Probably, yeah. You know, it costs 2 life, but yeah, maybe Metamorph is just better. I'm kind of down for Metamorph. No, you only need to Thoughtseize yourself once. Colossification does not need to be... You would have to have Bruna and Colossification in your hand, but Colossification can be in your hand or your graveyard to work with Bruna. We have a turn 5 kill, assuming we can deal with the Grazer. But Grazer does just block Bruna. Man, Grazer is just always the best card on the field every single time. Well, they can Titan us next turn. I think I'm saving this Misty for a... This Misty Rainforest for a Mystic Sanctuary. Trying to figure out if we can get Thoughtseize into the pile and have it work. I don't think so. Oh, we can Goryo's Vengeance Uro here to get one more land into play, if that's relevant. I think it is. Let's just pass. I don't think we're dead. We're going to take a huge hit here, of course, but I don't think our life total will become 0. Okay, so we gives for Fatal Push, Bruna, Colossification, Radical Idea. But we Goryo's Vengeance Uro first. We can't Sanctuary if we reanimate Uro. Yeah, but the problem with that is we can't Fatal Push, Radical Idea. Yeah, we can't. If they put Bruna and Radical Idea in our hand, the problem is we don't have the mana to push Radical Idea, Jumpstart, and Goryo's Vengeance. We're 1 mana short. But if we Goryo's Vengeance Uro, we do have enough mana, and we have another Mystic Sanctuary here. So I think that this works. I'm like 80% sure. And then Uro also gains us 3, although I guess with the Grazer attacking, Yeah, with the Grazer attacking, I suppose we're actually just dead. Or sorry, with the Dryad attacking. Maybe we're supposed to float it black. We drew a Fatal Push. Oh, no. Oh, wait, we can still push the Dryad. We can still push Dryad. And then that turns off these triggers. So I guess I have made a huge mistake by taking, like, an unnecessary 12 damage. But we're not dead on board. And we can Mystic Sanctuary push, but the problem is we're 1 mana short of being able to push Gifts Ungiven for Bruna Colossification, then Vengeance. Yeah, it's 1 mana short still. They have a Summoner's Pact for Dryad, and they have another Titan in their hand. So I guess what we need to do is Mystic Sanctuary, Inquisition of Kozilek, and then just escape Uro and Inquisition. Can't we Sanctuary Purse Goryo's Uro now? Well, if we do that, we don't have Goryos in our hand to cast on the we can't combo. So we would need that doesn't work. Because we need the Goryo still in our hand. No, we have lots of value gift piles, but we couldn't Sanctuary twice, didn't have enough islands. Oh, you're saying you thought we could, I see. Yeah, if this was an island, then that I think would have worked, yeah. Maybe we could have. If we had fetched island, filtered into black. They can pack for Titan and get Teleria. You're right. Yeah, just not quite able to get there. So close though. At least it felt close. It's really just if they didn't the Grazer. The Grazer stopped us from comboing. Feels so bad. The new meta. Put a land in your hand with gifts and see if they give it to you. They never ever do that, right? Like, I just feel like that could never be the play. Well, if they packed in response, we just get to take the Dryad. They already have a Titan in their hand. The old Inquisition bug. Okay, Gusts are a big deal in this matchup, though. I also do like Raven's Crime against these decks. Decay, I think, is usually better than Push, although Push kills Grazer. Oh, man. I guess that's the meta. I've been trimming, I think, the 4th Uro. Through Liliana. It's fine. We can beat Grazer. We'll figure it out. Grazer has Reach, and Colossification does not give Trample. So if your opponent has a blocker, usually you're not going to Gifts for the combo. I'm doing well, Ghost. How are you doing today? There aren't like too many flying and reach blockers in the format. I don't know. I just think there's no chance that they give you a land there. The whole point is to get Bruna in the yard and Colossificate her. Well, I would say that is not... That is the combo, yes. But what's nice about this deck is that's not necessarily plan A. You know, this is just like a Sultai rock deck. And then it has Gifts Ungiven that can make a lot of value with Uro, Loam, Field of the Dead. And then it does have this combo that you can also Gifts for. And so in some matchups, like maybe this one, it is your plan A. But again, what a big part of why I like this deck is you only have to play one Bruna and one Colossification, and then one Radical Idea, And then you largely just get to play a pretty fair deck, which is good. Couldn't we push the blocker end of turn? No, because we had to push the Dryad, otherwise we were dead. We were dead if we did not push the Dryad, so. We could not have... Yeah, we didn't have a line there. You would hold Gust for Druid as use there? I would not, because we can just decay them. You can just decay them. You don't really want to be gusting Dryad and Azusa super aggressively on turn 2, especially when you have an answer to them. And then if you're just gonna hold that mana forever, you're never playing Jace, which is also bad. You could consider one field, one Tectonic Edge as colorless lands. You could, but we already have Field of the Dead. Oh, you're saying play a Tectonic
What's
Edge
up?
instead of the second
It's me, your friend, Aspiring
field.
Spike.
I don't think I'm into it, honestly. Deem, 5 months in a row. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good day today. To double Amulet. Pretty gross. Although, we can decay one Amulet and then they can't Titan us. So I think we do that. They can Titan us with a Grazer. Then we can maybe flashback Decay on Amulet next turn and slow our opponent down a lot. We were at 6 with 2 Valakut triggers. Uro put us at 9 with 2. We were dead. I don't remember the exact scenario, but I know I believe we were at 8 with 2 Valakut triggers on the stack and a Dryad that could attack us. But I promise you that we were dead if we didn't push the Dryad, and we didn't have the mana to also push the Grazer. You cannot block with Uriel when you Goryo's Vengeance Uro. That doesn't work. Uro gets sacked immediately. But you don't have to exile the Uro to the Vengeance. Yeah, we also had 2 fetches that cost life. Yeah. We were dead. Promise we were dead. I'm doing well, Big B. How are you doing today? We'd also draw Bruna plus Colossification off of our draw step into Jace. Be pretty good. Yeah. I know illusions. Usually people are just trying to figure out what they're missing.
Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
I did figure a tank did mean our opponent was trying to figure out what to pact for. They have a Bog. Bog is pretty good for our opponent. Wait, they're dead. My opponent doesn't have double green. Clock 8 months in a row. Magic is many things. Also flying dinos. Hell yeah.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Do you want to hear about a weird dream I had?
No.
Please.
No, not on stream. Your dreams are so weird.
It's not that bad.
Well, I am scared of where this is going.
Okay, so.
I said
okay.
no. I'm not.
Dang it. So did you make a cafe mocha this morning?
I didn't. No, we don't have any milk left.
No.
I told you that last night. We were out. My opponent's just dead. Yeah.
No milk.
Maybe I do want pushes.
Maybe you do want to hear my dream.
We got an espresso maker, so we've been having a lot of cafe mocha is my favorite thing, but you need milk to make it. We ran out yesterday. I want to cut Liliana's on the draw. It's pretty slow. No, I didn't play any turn. Well, I played one match of the sealed mocks yesterday, and 0-1 dropped. But that's been most of my weekend with Esther. My opponent cast Summoner's Pact, and they did not have 2 green mana to pay for Summoner's Pact. Feel pretty smart now, bringing in all these pushes. Isn't that just fancy hot chocolate? I guess it's real tasty though. It's my favorite thing. Do you always push over Thoughtseize? Yeah, against the Stacy, yes. And especially when Thoughtseize is going to be good. In fact, I may hold up Gust this turn, because next turn we can go Uro plus Thoughtseize. It's a bit more mana efficient. We can get Sunken Hollow, so we can go Breeding Pool, Sunken Hollow. Hopefully this Dryad isn't what we end up wanting to gust, but... Yeah, we actually Thoughtseize the land in game 1 here. French vanilla cappuccinos. I don't think I've ever had one. But, you know, the world is my oyster with my espresso maker now. They can't even... Yeah, they can't cast the Spiral. They're drawing the Dryad, but this enters tap, so they can't cast the Spiral this turn. Not that that's a big deal. Oh, they can pick up their Bog, though, and exile my Uro. But I have a second Uro. Not that there's really anything we can do about this. So their hand is... Forest, Spiral, and they have a Yorion too. Yorion doesn't seem like it's really doing that much for them. I'm pretty hesitant to play Yorion unless its effect is something I, am wanting to have in my deck. If I'm like really flickering a lot of permanents, then I like Yorion, but doesn't really seem like my opponent's deck is doing that. Alright, this hand does win over 2 turns with Gifts Ungiven for, the combo. One of the combo pieces being Radical Idea. Assuming we survive that long. Which I don't think our opponent can Titan us now, and so it should survive, right?
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Adras Ritter. Big fan of yours. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Love to see that 2nd month in a row. Welcome back, buddy. Maybe we do die to a Titan. Hopefully not, right? We also I guess we get to make some field zombies, so at least they don't get to attack in for those last crucial points of damage. Amulet's very scary, though. Then they put Yorion into their hand, maybe? So they're okay. Their last card is second Dryad. Well, I don't think we really have a play here besides hope we get to throw a Bruna at them. How does Bruna come in? So we're going to Gifts Ungiven for Colossification, Bruna, Goryo's Vengeance, and Radical Idea. And by also having access to Mystic Sanctuary and 6 mana, there is not a pile our opponent can give us that will prevent us from throwing a Bruna at them with a Colossification here. In before a Boreal Grazer, that would be... It would be pretty funny. I mean, we would end up probably just going for like a value Uro pile, like, just go in on Uro and Field of the Dead. They gonna attack? I don't really feel like they have attacks. They feel like they have attacks, though. I guess I'm just gonna kill a Dryad. I want to hold this for Sanctuary.
Here's an apple pie my mom made.
An apple pie that your mom made?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do you want another cup of coffee or?
What?
Do you want another cup of coffee or what?
Yeah, just a regular espresso.
Okay.
Can you use the Starbucks beans?
Is that what's already in?
That is what's already in, but I don't know if there's enough left
'cause
for
I
another
just
one.
used it,
Yeah, there
so-
shouldn't be enough left for another one.
Okay.
You know how to grind them, right? There's enough for... Okay. I couldn't remember how many I did. Is there a point to adding other auras to this list? I don't think so. You only have to deal 20 damage usually. This is 25. Like Eldrazi Conscription, you do not get the Annihilator trigger off of Eldrazi Conscription with Goryo's Vengeance and Bruna, and like, and she gets sacrificed end of turn because you're vengeancing her. So definitely not that one. I think you could play. You could maybe play an aura that gives unblockable. I could actually see that being somewhat good if you feel like there's like a lot of creature matchups. Alright, so it's Mystic Sanctuary, Goryo's Vengeance. My opponent does have a card in their hand. Don't know what it is, of course. Doesn't even matter. If they counter this, it doesn't matter because we still draw the Vengeance. But they're acting like they have something, or maybe they're just in awe of the combo. I mean, no, if it's Pact of Negation, they can pay for Pact with Dryad. But then we could just Mystic Sanctuary back Vengeance. It's not that big a deal. Interesting. Alright. I don't know if there is a card that... I'm sure there are cards that give your opponents colored mana, but not a realistic one. Happy Monday, Garewell. Come on, main deck Relic. Feels so bad. It's just E-Tron. Into turn 2 Matter Reshaper? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Some people just have it all. Kind of absurd to have the turn 2 Reshaper here. I was not supposed to play my fetch land there, I'm not sure. Liliana's nice. Finally an answer to the turn 2 Reshaper. So I'll keep my Radical Idea. I might just like want to discard the Loam because it's not doing much against the Relic here. Into another Relic. That'd be so good. They hit an Expedition map. This is my first time playing this matchup. I might be misremembering. Opponent discards Urza's Mine. Wise choice. Yo, Jeff. Good morning to you. I'm glad people are liking the Bruna deck. I'm glad. So I was really obsessed with brewing around Vengeance, Bruna Colossification for like a full week. I'm glad I finally found a good version. Thank you, sweetheart.
The freshly ground beans do make it look really
yeah,
nice.
this tastes way better, honestly.
Yeah, like, what's it called? And this foam on top apparently is called crema. And it just comes
Sounds
naturally.
made up.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm gonna get Vengeance, Delta, Misty, Colossification, and they need to. Oh no, they don't have any. Yeah, they're just dead. Sick. Wow, we beat the nut draw of turn 1 Relic, turn 2 Reshaper. Amazing. Good morning, Archmage. How you doing today, buddy? Man, Radical Idea is so good in this deck. Bruna, kill count 3. Threw a turn 1 Relic on turn 5. Amazing. What was our... I think last stream we had 12 Bruna kills. I feel like we can break that today. Alright, let's just do one prediction today. Will we get more than 12 Bruna kills in 3 leagues? More than 12... more than
What's
12
up?
Bruna
It's
kills
me, your
in
friend,
3
Aspiring
leagues.
Spike.
Okay. Just in case I do a 4th league. It would be unfair, I think, to do 4 for this. Raise Rom 3 months in a row. The boys are back in town. Welcome back to the boys. Alright, now I have to sideboard. Let me bring in this Decay. The Gargaroths. We probably don't have enough for this matchup to cut the combo. Probably just gonna, I think Fatal Push is bad against E-Tron. Gonna play just one Inquisition too. It's also nice to cut on ones against the Chalice deck, but just a pushing Reshaper or even Ballista isn't that good. It's good against Thoughtseize exactly, but you have to have a mana up and a fetch land, and they have to play it, and they have to not have Chalice. And then Thoughtseize is also like pretty irrelevant if you get these down. Can't hit Smasher. Yeah, I just don't really like push very much against them. Is it weird I could see lists like this and pushing Mystic Sanctuary to the ban list? Maybe. I mean, I love hearing that about a brew of mine, that this is like, that this could get Sanctuary banned. I kind of don't think that's very likely, but I do think this deck is good though, and I could see the problems people would have with this list. All right, so we can either Decay or Jace next turn. I think that we're not very likely to be able to Decay the map. Obviously, there are some scenarios where we can. But because it's more likely that we can't, I'm just going to play the Sanctuary. And Gargaroth is great against E-Tron. It's really good against them. Can I open the prediction for one more minute? Oh, yeah, so I think I accidentally set it for just like 1 minute. Although I don't know if I can actually... I don't know if I can set it for more. Yeah. Yeah, that was my bad, but there's nothing I can do now. Just discard this. I would be pretty happy to cast Liliana here, but we can't. Have I 5-0? Yeah, we 5-0 with this deck on Friday of last week. We're like 2 cards different. Can this deck beat Cruel Ultimatum? Probably, yeah, but not if they cast it off of a Kess. That sounds harder. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it would feel too bad to. Yeah, I can't do that to the people who voted no, of course. I'll remember for next time to set it for longer. They took Vengeance. I think if they had a second Seer, they would have taken both Gargaroths. Yeah, we're in bad shape, though. They get a Sundering Titan, you're probably going to game 3 then. Could find a Thoughtseize, I guess. The one Inquisition. Yikes. Eesh. Boseiju for when they Chalice on 4. Chalice on 2. Resubmit, get to be on the play. Maybe I actually want Duress over Inquisition. Inquisition hits Ballista, but this hits Karn. Kind of like that. Duress is mostly there, so and you can like gives for Veil, Duress, Inquisition, Thoughtseize against counterspell decks, but I'm not sure how relevant that is. I might cut the Duress. It hasn't come up yet. Guess we keep this on 5 cards and don't feel like super happy about it. We go Triome into basic lands into Hollow at least. The Raven's Crime is to gifts for Raven's Crime plus Loam and like against big mana and combo matchups. And I have liked that plan in the past in like some other Gifts Ungiven decks, but I'm not sure that I like it in this one. Scavenger Grounds is good for them to have access to. It's good against us. Cool. You can go Uro into Duress. Hopefully we can play a turn 4 Gargaroth. It'd be really nice. Jace can be good too. Karn, map, dismember. Pretty easy Karn. They can get Tron over 2 turns, but you know, they're kind of flooded, and I think that's fine, right? Let's play a Gargaroth. So his Blaststone, Cavern, Temple, Dismember, Map, Mystery card. They play the map, and they did think about maybe sacking their grounds there, I think. That could have been what they were thinking about. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to cycle Agoria's Vengeance while my opponent does not have Scavenger Grounds up. How do you attack with Bruna? Bruna is already attacking when the Colossification goes on her. It's an attack trigger, not an enters the battlefield trigger. Is Tron not a big mana deck? Specifically, E-Tron is like the one big mana deck you don't want Raven's Crime for, since they play Chalice and a ton of graveyard hate and are often playing off the top anyways. You know, I mean, Green Tron is too, but they don't have Chalice and as much graveyard hate, I think. And they also aren't always, you know, playing, like sometimes they have more aggressive draws than other times. Chalice on 2 is pretty good. My opponent has Dismember, but they let me tap Jace. Seems wrong to me. Well, we'll make them crack their Scavenger Grounds. They could have Scavenger Grounds and Dismembered Jace. What's happening right now? What is even happening? So confused. Now I just get to escape Uro. Maybe they don't know how this interaction works. Seems like a lot of people don't. And we drew a Thoughtseize. Well, good beats, I guess. My glasses are all foggy from taking a sip of the espresso. Paid actor confirmed. Yeah, I guess so. We can Thoughtseize the Dismember. Yeah, I guess they just realized they messed up. We couldn't beat the Blue-Red Phoenix Menace, but we've done pretty well in our next 3 matches. All we have to do is draw a Colossification and can maybe get a quick kill here. Well, I guess we don't have double black for Liliana. Am I saying espresso on purpose? Sure. I actually didn't know it was espresso. This has never been a pronunciation stream. Or an Everett has any knowledge about anything in the world besides Magic the Gathering stream. But it is a make fun of my pronunciation stream always. Is this Jeskai Ascendancy? Like Sarah Vision's Breeding Pool Grove is kind of weird. Both are correct. That's probably true. I'll believe that. Yeah, is it not espresso? Is that not a thing? Because I really thought it was. It is Ascendancy. Hopefully you draw an untapped black. This is not untapped. Nice. Oh man, so nice when, you know, it's just like a regional thing and I'm not just like have no grasp of the English language. If you're trying to win your argument, you've come to the wrong place. Dude, whoever wrote this should stream. It's awesome. You can use both. Okay. Whew, my dignity is saved for another day. That is true. I do also get all my news from you guys, so if you guys are wrong, I'm doomed. I would love to draw a Colossification. Well, that finds Colossification. It's like no chance we die next turn, is there? really think so. Any thought to a singleton Noxious Revival for Gifts piles? Tell me a Gifts pile that really wants Noxious Revival besides just like general Gifts piles. Because in my opinion, it's not something that you want. But if there's like a specific Gifts pile that's good, you know, let me know. But for the most part, I think that you're only going to want to have a card like Revival in your deck, which is not a good card by itself. If it like has a very specific pile, that's good. You know what I mean? Yeah, we could die here. I think it's pretty unlikely, especially because they missed a land, but they did find a land after cantripping a couple times. It's also like a bit harder to kill with Caryatid because you can't just attack with it. You feel like we're dying? I don't know. Maybe. Like, they almost definitely have an Ascendancy, but they had to cast like already 2 cantrips. I guess their hand is 5 spells, so maybe. We'll see. It's not like really anything we can do about it. We can block with Bruna, I guess. Yeah, they can win with Caryatid. It's just, it's harder to do so than just attacking with it. Just a little harder. And it obviously is very nice, has hexproof. I'm kind of wondering what they were tanking on so hard. Besides just casting Ascendancy, right? Oh, they have a Fate Stitcher. Maybe we are just dead. They cast a Cerulean Wisps, which makes their Caryatid blue. So close to being able to kill them. It's pretty unlikely that they fizzle at this point, I think. They have another Fate Stitcher. They have Cling to Dust. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'll concede, it's fine. Alright, third Decay. Gust also hits Ascendancy. Gust is probably a bit better than Push because like both kill birds, but I mean this kills birds much less efficiently. But also hitting Ascendancy just feels like a huge deal to me. Liliana seems quite good. Could see cutting to 4th Uro. Duress seems good. Although they probably bring in Veil of Summer. The Raven's Crime seems good. What are we cutting? We can cut the Loam. I feel like this is probably not a Loam matchup. Although we brought in Raven's Crime. Jace is really nice. It's not dying. Could see cutting maybe the 3rd Uro. Can maybe cut the 4th Vengeance, the 3rd Uro. 4th Gifts, just be like a little more controlling. Seems okay. Yeah, did cut a Vengeance. Have 2 here. I think I want to mulligan. We don't have green mana. We have 2 Vengeances. Nothing to do with them. Sounds much better. Maybe I'm probably supposed to Thoughtseize on turn 1 because of Veil of Summer. Yeah. Okay, didn't get punished. But that was the play I think we should have made. If we can just go Thoughtseize into Lily, I'm feeling really good. They boarded in Stormwing Entity as like a transformative sideboard plan. It's really, really cool. Like that a lot. Pretty painful draw. Maybe I could have gotten basic Swamp. They have Grove of the Burn Wheels to heal us. Oh, they also don't have any blue mana. It's kind of a weird keep, honestly. Second Liliana, perfect draw. I mean, they are a Manamorphose deck that plays a lot of spells. Kind of cool. I think I dig it. Well. Their 2 draw steps were both Jeskai Ascendancy. It's so funny. I guess we take 1. Their hand is just so redundant. Could take Nagging Thoughts. Good draw. Another non-blue land. So funny. I think we need basic island here. They would have blue if I didn't Thoughtseize. That's true. Yeah. Oh, this just gets edicted. Not that they, they have to play it for sure. Kind of don't want to discard any of these cards. Okay, cool. Yeah, opponent is playing Jeskai Ascendancy, which is neat for sure. My opponent brought in Stormwing Entity, which I guess we can Liliana or Strand in their hand, but seems pretty good against us. Maybe we could trim like a Aether Gust for something, the 4th Gifts. Yeah, this is fine. Storming is main deck? Interesting. Main deck creatures that don't tap for mana is like a little weird. Maybe I'll play a Thirst over a Gust. That's fine. Kind of awkward that we can't Decay on turn 2. Thank you, Sunken Ruins. Liliana's like Thoughtseize into Liliana is like our best start though. Put him ult to 5 as well. Yeah, I know you cannot push Stormwing Entity. That's like a big part of the reason why it's so good. It's 5 mana. But you can push Fate Stitcher, but it just like escapes again, right? Or unearths, whatever the mechanic is. What a combo! Gemstone Mine, Abundant Growth. It's kind of an interesting draw too. Probably taking the Caryatid, but Stormwing is pretty scary. We're gonna duress them? I think I am. I think we have to duress here. Okay, and we were of course pretty likely to brick. Maybe we could have double crimed, but don't really want to discard my island. This is fine. Like if they draw a 1-mana cantrip, we get to just Liliana the Stormwing. Unearth exiles and leaves the battlefield. Oh, I thought it was end of turn. I don't know. It's like we have Gust and Decay, which feels like it's more relevant because they both answer Ascendancy, which is way better than spot removing their creature. But it's a conversation, I guess. Discard that, I suppose. It does on EOT as well. It's interesting, kind of like Flashback. It's got that if it would go anywhere text it leaves. Ooh, interesting. Kind of, I guess this stops my combo. Just kind of surprised to see it, I guess. Hopefully my opponent didn't draw birds off of their 1 draw step. The 2 cards on the bottom. The 1 draw was Steam Vents. Goodbye, Stormwing Entity. I hardly knew thee. Did opponent over Sideboard? Hard to say for sure. I mean, it's very difficult to like accuse your opponent of over sideboarding when they have probably never played this matchup before. It's just kind of hard to tell for sure. Like, and I've never played this matchup either, so it's also hard for me to make that claim. Wow. Nagging thoughts, huh? I kind of feel like we need to Ravenscrime. How sick would it be if they find a second Nagging Thoughts? The tech. Yeah, I'm going to Ravenscrime here. You have Decay up. They drew something. Cling to Dust on my Uro, wow. Well, did not play well around that. Cling is also just great for them here. What a draw. Nagging Thoughts into Cling. We'll love for them to like just draw Ascendancy for me to decay, so I can not have to discard my decay.
Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
Tell 11 months in a row. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good day today. The Cling is so good, dude. Discard the Thoughtseize. Ah! Man, my opponent's really getting me with these escape cards. Their deck is really cool. Decay Growth Spiral? I don't think so. Although, yeah, maybe if like we were really worried about the Cling. I don't know if we still are. They probably hit my Raven's Crime or Colossification. They hit the Colossification. But now I'm going to decay the Uro, of course. Although my opponent actually doesn't have... Yeah, now they have the shops. Okay, if my opponent does not escape Uro, I guess I will decay the growth. Nagging Thoughts into Cling into Uro is just so good here. Could have maybe actually Raven's Crime there. I think it's better to play the field. It's close though. They discard Serum Visions. Two cards away from escaping Uro, one card away from escaping Uro. Gifts would be a really nice draw. It's been a really good match. It is a bummer that our like now that they've got our Colossification exiled, we can't Bruna them. Yeah, they're gonna escape Uro, which we can Edict, but they keep the ball rolling. I wonder if my opponent has like sighted out their combo. It's kind of an interesting thought. Yeah. Sliding out the combo is pretty interesting to me. Did I see 2 Incidency? Oh, we did see 2 Incidency last game, yeah. That was game 2. Yeah. You know, I will say their deck, like our deck, it's really nice when you get to play a combo deck, but also have a really good grindy game plan. Like a certain 2-card combo that we all miss. They sacked the Grove. It's kind of weird. They could have escaped Uro instead. Now I feel like they maybe run the risk of stranding cards in their hand. So I think we Sanctuary back... Oh, we can't Sanctuary back anything. Alright, we'll just get the last card out of their hand and have the ability to ultimate. It was a Veil. What is a combo? Good question. Although, yeah, their Uro is a big problem. So they have a creature to Edict away. We can ultimate and like maybe put lands versus creatures. Kind of interested in that. Alright, now I think we're probably supposed to split up Uro and Bird, so let me go. Ultimate, hope they don't have a Veil of Summer. We just discarded a Veil of Summer. No. Okay. It's a good play. Alright, probably would go like Uro plus 2 lands versus this pile. Seems good to me. Yeah, seems pretty good. Could have maybe. I think if we could have maybe given them like island plus this, but then they like probably just take the other pile. I mean, they're pretty far away from escaping this Uro. Yeah, they have no green mana. Yeah, I feel like they were because these lands are pretty good. I feel like they're more likely to take this pile. So it has Abundant Growth, 3 unknowns. Good morning, JK. No Eldrazi Conscription. You don't get the Annihilator trigger in this deck because Bruna is an attack trigger, not ETB, and it's also just like a bit over the top for no reason. They discarded an Ascendancy and now they have Ascendancy mana. See what they did keep. Second Ascendancy. Wait, what? They didn't cast Ascendancy? Are you kidding me? What the heck? Kind of absurd. Okay, they've got Growth, they've got Uro in the yard, but they're really far away from escaping it. Oh, no, they're not. Although they didn't tap basic planes. They should have tapped planes here, I think. Oh, okay, but they can... Oh, yeah, the Growth doesn't help them escape Uro this turn. Probably need to Edict that. Loam is a great draw. Loam is like a game-winning draw here. Maybe I was supposed to actually... Maybe I was supposed to dredge Loam with Sandbar. This would be fine. They're afraid of me top decking removal? I don't know. I feel like they were supposed to jam. Like I understand maybe why, but I think they're just supposed to jam. Against active Liliana, you're supposed to jam almost for sure. I did not set up my combo, but my opponent did cling to dust my Colossification, so Bruna's just attacking for 5. But if that kills, I'll add it to the kill counter. Yeah, I think we're gonna 4-1. We 5-0'd on Friday. I think this deck is good. I think this deck we're playing is good. Bruna as the flip half of Eldrazi, the older Bruna, the first one, Light of the Alabaster or something like that. She gets back Colossification and she hits for 25. Oh, they cling to dust with my Loam. Oh, and I could have Sanctuaried the Loam. Well, that was a huge punt on my part. It's like puts them definitely back into it. Oops. Never mind. Never mind. I mean, without the Loam, and we also can't combo. It's not like game over, but we can get the second Uro, and then land. Yeah, those are a pretty big mistake. I forgot about the Cling to Dust. How do I brew up new decks? Do I just look through your old trade binder and decide that's the card I want to play with? No, that's how a lot of people do it though. It just always starts off with an idea, and you can't force yourself to have ideas. But it always just, starts off with an idea, and this idea was, man, if you can Goryo's Vengeance Bruna with a Colossification in your hand or graveyard, that's 25 damage for 2 mana. It seems like maybe there's something there. And wow, Gifts Ungiven can actually set it up pretty well. But we're missing something, and then the something was Radical Idea, which chat helped me out with, and then like, what is the best shell for that? And it's kind of how it cascades. And I built a lot of shells, and this has been the best one. Although I think there may be a straight blue-black one that plays more like a twin deck, where you go ends of turn Gifts Ungiven, untap with Goryo's Vengeance with a counter spell up. Is something I'm trying to build, but I haven't found a good list yet. So just like I've been trying to put it together and just haven't quite been happy.